Hey everybody, this is Aron Eisenberg,
Hey
also
everybody.
Howdy.
Nog on Deep Space Nine. We've got super producer Jared Cooper. I'm Ryan T. Husk.
You're missing a couple vowels. Is this supposed to be NAW? No, now.
Nog.
No,
Hey,
Now.
no.
We're doing a
In a
little bit of bonus
Western
footage.
drawl. No.
For those of you that watch our podcast, here's a little bit of bonus footage. We've got a few questions we want to ask from our Facebook followers, likes, subscribers, fans, whatever they're called.
Okay.
And so we're going to answer a few of those real quick. Number one.
Ready like they're for me. I know they're all for Aaron. But.
You know, that was another thing I wanted to say earlier, and I forgot. But please do us a favor. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to, when you subscribe, you click the bell so that you get a notification every time we release a new episode or a new piece of video information. And also, please share this with your friends. Anybody that likes sci-fi or Star Trek, share it with them. Spread the word. Help us get more views and subscribers. It's doing really well right now. We want to keep up the momentum. So
Yeah, and a little bit of news is our show and the Odyssey was going to be on iHeartRadio as well.
yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
So question number one on our Facebook page, please go like our Facebook page, the seventh rule. Now, the first question is from James M. Downey. He says, I was lucky enough to meet Aron and Cirroc at Destination Star Trek last October, and you guys were absolute gents. I bet that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what you guys enjoy most about conventions and what you least enjoy about them and your most memorable experiences at one of the many you've both attended?
Wow, that would be a question for Cirroc here too. Unfortunately, we don't have Cirroc, so maybe we can ask him that again when he's back on. For me, it's been a wonderful part of Star Trek having the opportunity to go to cons. It's great to meet the fans. It's really wonderful to meet so many people that have enjoyed our show, enjoyed the performances. When people come up and say that our show or my performance, like from Paper Moon, has really helped them in their lives, has really benefited them and made a difference, or they just are very appreciative of it, it obviously fills myself with joy. It's wonderful to hear that. It's wonderful to know that our show and the work we do makes a positive difference in people's lives in all the ways that it does. And that's kind of the best part of going to cons. And the other great part is we get to travel. We get to go to places that I probably never would have been and meet people I never would have met. And lately, what's really been amazing to see is different generations now watching the show. And the fact that new audiences are watching Deep Space Nine or Voyager or TNG, it just keeps going. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's really wonderful that I'm part of this franchise, that part of this world. It's been a blessing. I don't really have any downsides to cons. I've gotten in makeup as Nog, and that's sometimes can be exhausting, but it's always been wonderful because the fans have such a lot of fun taking photos with us. I can't think of really anything negative. I've never had a negative experience at the con. I mean, one time I had a woman who once said, "Can I have a hug?" And I said, "Sure." And this was like long time ago, early years. And she went in and she goes, and she went to lick my tongue. I'm like, I mean, not my tongue, sorry. She went to lick my ear. I'm like, whoa, hey, let's relax. Let's all just friends, just let's calm down. It's okay. And she got a little embarrassed. I go, no, it's fine. It's all good. But that's not really negative. I've never really had anything. I've never had any negative at a con. I've been very fortunate.
Piggybacking on what you were saying there a minute ago about the different cities you get to travel to, that made me kind of think of something. What's like the coolest new city experience you hit in a place where you didn't expect you would ever travel to? Like that you were so pleasantly surprised. Like, let's say you went to Minneapolis or something and you never had any interest to go, and you were just like, this is actually a really cool damn town.
Well, there's two that really come to mind, and they're quite some time ago, to be honest with you. One was in Germany. I went to this gaming con, and I can't remember the city it was in, but it looked like it took place at what used to be at the top of the mountain, a castle, and then all the peasants below it, because it was kind of on a mountain, and it was really in a, I don't know if I would say a rural part of Germany, maybe a suburb, outside of any main dense area of Germany. That was probably the coolest experience. I feel we were so far out of the main area, the main metropolitan areas of Germany, that when we were at the hotel Sunday, everyone left. I mean, everyone that worked there left. And I don't think I was staying one more night, but I didn't have to leave till later. And we were sitting there, my friend and Michael and I were playing Magic, but there was no one in the hotel. It was like we walked out and there was nobody there. And that's just, I've never had that experience. I mean, the bar was wide open, there was no one at the front desk, and it felt like The Shining. I felt like it was The Shining. I was in an empty hotel, and it was very what you would think German would be. The other places when I went to Italy, that was amazing. I'd never been to Italy before, and I got to go to Florence, and the con was about an hour outside of Florence. And
Nice.
And I stayed in this really interesting type of hotel that was very different than what we normally go to in hotels. And the con was in that hotel. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. And then I stayed in Florence for a few days and did some photography, and I hang out with a friend of mine that I met there. She kind of showed me the city a little bit. And then one night I went out on my own and got lost, but I finally found my way back. And that was a beautiful experience. That was really incredible.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's jump on to question number 2. The questioner is someone whose name is very difficult to pronounce. Luckily, at the bottom, he says, parenthetically, he says, T or Tony for short. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. So his question is, a lot of these have been asked at conventions, I'm sure, so apologies, but I haven't seen either of you at conventions, so here goes. It is said the atmosphere on the Deep Space Nine set was more tense and strict than on TNG. Did you pick that up or notice it as young actors? We answered that already at in our previous show. Go ahead.
Just to say on that, I would say strict. It's not like there was, a principal there watching us, making sure we weren't going on. I just didn't have, I don't think we have a lot of the stories that maybe TNG does, and the fun, and we did touch on that in the early episode. In case people skip that, though, did we talk about it at the beginning? I think we did, right? We
did. The Next Generation was known for screwing around and having fun, and Deep Space Nine was much more serious and, professional in that regard, to where they just came to work and they went home.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, is we're just, absolute professionals, and and that's what people just have to understand. That's why our show is the best. And if you understand that, then you go, I get it. You guys just take your craft very seriously. We got to do the best job we can.
That's right. And his next question is, it's noticeable that Quark's makeup, especially the nose, changed from the earlier episodes to the later ones. Did you have a few makeup changes before finally seeing Nog in the mirror?
I did. Now, my makeup changes. Now, remember, when the show started, they still were adjusting to the makeup, the time it takes. They probably see it in dailies and go, let's fix this. I think at one time, Armin in one of the episodes was wearing Rom's head. Something like that.
The first couple,
yeah. So there were some mistakes that happened earlier. And like any show, you're finding your legs. You're finding the rhythm, the way things need to be done. I didn't have a lot of issues at the very beginning because I didn't work all the time. So I think I did the first 2 episodes, was the pilot and then A Man Alone. And then I don't think I worked for a little while before I came back. But my makeup changed more to age me rather than out of necessity, in the sense of something was wrong with it or they needed to fix it. at the very beginning of the show of DS9, I didn't have cheek prosthetics. They used my own cheeks because I have a round face, mostly due to my kidney transplant. And so that is a youthful looking face, is a round face rather than an angular face. So with the head and the nose itself, which was a smaller nose and a little bit more of a ball on it, they didn't put any of the cheeks in, and they just left my round face, which made me look like I was really young. But I also did look very young out of makeup. I was 23 and I looked like I was 14. So I wasn't dating a lot at that time in my life, but at least I was working.
That's great.
So now to age me after, I don't remember exactly when it happened, but to age me, they gave me cheek prosthetics that gave me more of an angular face up here at the cheekbones. And that was really the adjustment that they made as the scripts aged me and that they aged me as well. And as Cirroc got so tall. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
He also says, well, I'd like to believe Cirroc was mentioned by Avery and Aaron by Armin and Max. Was that the case on set?
What does he mean mentioned?
I don't really know that one. I don't really know what he's asking there. So, Tony, can you comment later on and just kind of re-ask the question in a way that we could kind of decipher it a little bit better? So
maybe I'll read it and I'll get an idea.
Yeah, so we're not answering a question that you're not asking, you know. And his last question is, what did you take as a memento when the show ended? I think we also covered that one.
We did, but I'll be more than happy to say again, because I know people love to look at my teeth. And I love to share them. So that was my biggest memento. There you go.
Ta-da!
Hey! And if my hands were clean, I'd put them in for you. But I'll have to wait for that for another show.
Aaron says that they smell like fresh basil.
They do. And a little bit of cinnamon. But I don't know how cinnamon and basil go together. But that's what they smell like.
Now, also, Cortina Womack has 2 questions for you, Aaron. Whenever you're ready, here they come.
Hi, Cortina.
Hi, Cortina. She says, I'm also always
Oh my God, I thought she called in. The way you both said, hi, Cortina. I'm like, oh, she's on? Okay, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
She says, I'm also always very interested to know what actors took from the set. You guys get anything? We covered that. Number 2 is, do you have anything you're as passionate about as Trekkies are about Star Trek? I love that question.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I guess I would have to say soccer. I love coaching soccer. That's been a big passion of mine over the past several years. Well, actually, since I've been coaching my son throughout the years, but even more so over the past couple of years. I coach at the local high school at Simi Valley High right now, the Frosh team. We have our last 2 games this week. So I'm a big soccer fan in that aspect. What else? I love Game of Thrones. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it is fantastic. And I love Discovery. And I love spending time with Melissa watching it. So I love, we have our time together watching our shows, and we keep finding really, really good shows. A lot of great British television that she got me more and more into. That I keep enjoying more and more. But I think in a passion sense, soccer has become a big passion of mine, coaching soccer and being a fan as well as a student of it and teacher.
That's great. I love soccer too. British stuff, nah, but soccer, yeah. Oh. Well, except for Game of Thrones.
All the British stuff.
Oh.
Aaron, how did I not know you played Magic? How have we got this far without me knowing you played Magic?
Oh, yeah, I was big into Magic a long time ago when my kids were a lot younger, and I still have all my cards.
What were your colors?
Yeah, what?
What were your colors?
I actually just love awesome combos, so whenever a cool combo, like, oh, I can't wait for this to happen. But I wasn't the best at deck building because I think I'd put too many ideas into one deck, and it would never happen. But once it did, I was like, yes! But I like Hearthstone, and I'm a big WoW fan as well. I used to play WoW. My son Chris and I played WoW since he was 6, and we're looking forward to the vanilla reissue. I guess this summer. So I might be joined on that, and I want to get into Star Trek Online That's another thing. I want to start playing that. Trying to find the time is which.
Captain Kelly just got released on Star Trek Online.
Yes, I saw the advert for that on the Discovery episode. I saw the Star Trek Online advert for it. So, gaming. I've been a big gamer all my life, although it's been harder to game over the past couple of years as much. And I really miss playing. I miss playing. So
we'll have to find time next month when we're at that convention in Pensacola.
Well, yeah, but then you'll have to make me a deck. And
That's
bring
fine.
one. Okay. So the ones that were my favorite was black, and I kind of loved playing black and white at times. And I also liked playing black and red. That was kind of fun too. But this was a long time ago, and it's changed so much. Yeah, there was a lot of different combos. There were certain cards I really enjoyed playing. The Wretched was such a fun card, but I could really never get it to work the way I wanted it to.
Oh my God, who here doesn't know what the hell they're talking about? Who has no clue?
Come on, you just wanted to show your biceps again.
Let's please move on. Oh, we're out of time. Last question. Otherwise, boy, I really want to hear more about Magic the card game.
You're so mean. Why are you so mean?
I'm French.
Wow. You're so mean.
I'm French. That's how French people are.
That's no excuse. All right, go ahead. Last question.
All right, here we are. Robert Scott says, one of the reinforced themes of Deep Space Nine that I love is that you can't understand someone else until you walk a mile in their shoes. Were there ever times on DS9 where you felt you had a better insight on your character than the shooting script? Okay.
No, I didn't actually. Because to me, every time I got a script was reading a new chapter in a book, and I felt it was my job at that time to get into whatever they were asking me to do, and that was me learning the story of Nog, if that makes sense. So I never thought, because they basically told me what the character was by each script I got. That developed my script, and I never really had a conflict of what they wrote for me. And to be honest, I felt what they wrote for me was amazing, and it was very parallel to my own life. It was very symbiotic, the things that they would give me and where they took it. So no, I never felt that way. I didn't establish anything that Nog is this, and if they do this, then I'm gonna really struggle with that, because I looked at it like I was reading a book. And every day I worked, I get to read the next chapter of Nog's life. So I was learning about Nog as I was living him, if that makes sense, you know?
Oh, that's really cool. I really like that answer. And also that question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Thanks everybody for the questions. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking our pages. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel and blowing it up. Also comment on our YouTube channel, on our videos, because that brings up the views. You know, it puts it all over in the algorithm. The more activity you have on YouTube videos, the more visible it is in searches, which makes this podcast grow even bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Patrick Stewart will be banging on the door saying, I want to be on your show, damn it. And we'll be like, well,
he'll say it just like that.
Yeah, he'll say it so much better. All right. Anyway, thanks very much for all your questions. For super producer Jared Cooper, Aron Eisenberg, for Cirroc Lofton, who's in Maui right now getting a better tan than us, I'm Ryan T. Husk, and please always remember the 7th rule. Cool.